Well, acting is signing up to get kicked in the balls. The nature
Much.
of that passion. I think a lot of the time we get confused as actors, especially between not about what we can do. Because I think you're very clear on your capability and that, yeah, look, if someone gives me a part, if, I'm not making any money, I'm going to do it. But it's more about how we have efficacy over our career. And efficacy is a big word for actors, right? Like there's got to be some feeling that it's I can do something. I can have some level of influence over the nature of where my career is going. And I think that's really difficult to find. That's a really difficult thing for actors to find. And if they don't feel efficacious, if they don't feel capable of swaying what they do to getting to where they want to be, well, at some point, you're going to feel horribly frustrated, horribly depleted, and lost. And part of the thing of doing a project is it does empower you. It does make
Yeah.
you feel efficacious. Like, okay, at least I did this. Even if I am bankrupted, even if my mom's friend hates me, I at least put something up. And I know that there's value in continuing to do something else or focus on what I love to do. But the other thing that you've experienced as well is why study? Why? First of all, who do I study with? And I tell actors all the time, every acting teacher in the world, I know you fundamentally disagree with this, but every acting teacher in the world has something to give, and a lesson you can learn and a tool you can pick up. But I think what ends up the best part of studying is being around other actors. I think to me
Yes.
that is the most important value in getting out of a mediocrity loop.
That's been the biggest hardship since the pandemic is the places
To go,
to
yeah.
go and the people to not necessarily commiserate with, but just
Share.
yeah, they're, that really is it's difficult to find
Yeah.
these days.
And I think a lot of people yearn for, and I know this is true of writers. I know writers groups over the pandemic, they got, even they went online, they felt that they lost something. Acting, however, just like dance, it's experiential, it's empirical, right? Like it's not just about the theory. You can't sit in your head with it. And I think the nature of feeling that level of communion is very important. I think actors need community more than any other group. They need to talk amongst themselves. They need to share because you're constantly living in rejection. Similar to musicians do that. Musicians share all the time, right? Like if you play the guitar, you're going over to your friend's house and you're jamming with them at some point. Actors, you're like, you're gonna go, hey, let's read some Shakespeare tonight and have some beers. Let's have some beers and some Shakespeare and see how that does. Right? You're not doing that. So then when are you sharing your experience? When are you sharing your life? Well, you only really have institutions of community that are connected to institutions of higher learning. Juilliard, yeah, if you graduate, yeah, you got a whole alumni group, you got a whole Yale, UCLA, USC. You got a place, a foundation to which to refer back to. But if you never went to those schools because you couldn't fucking afford it, if you never went to those schools because you couldn't get in or you never wanted to, your working community is your community. And if you don't have that as a working community, you're out there on your own feeling like I don't have anyone I can connect to. And that further isolates you, right? So where do you go? Well, that's why I tell people that's what class benefits of, even if it's online. I know you can't stand it because it doesn't make sense to you. But online classes for a lot of other people are just about meeting other people, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least you're going to meet one other person in there hey, can I get your email? Now again, what do we do with this information as an actor? I got this guy's email because I took an online class with him, and now I don't know where to go or what to do. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of the problem is you have to find a way to activate And then you're like, well, I don't want to put in that energy, man. I don't want to email this person twice and be like, hey, what are you doing? And can we talk about
that's my biggest
acting?
problem with all online
Yeah.
stuff is that like it's its own entity.
Yeah.
I don't see how it plays, how it crosses over into your physical life.
Right.
And being an actor is a physical
It's
job.
yeah. It's an athletic job too.
So
It's, you know what the best thing with online is, it forces you to figure out a tool for yourself. And you already have a lot of tools, by the way, and you've already done a lot of studying. But a lot of actors, need some basic theory and basic craft understanding so that they can get what a tool could be and then what it could be of service of. And that in online environment, it forces you to have to think about it for yourself.
yes.